A warm welcome back to BizSense here on ANN7. Thank you so much for staying with us. Facilitating economic participation and skills development is paramount in driving transformation within South Africa's property sector. Now, this is the word by South African Institute of Black Property Professionals. The institute is hard at work ensuring more representative participation in the property industry, especially for previously disadvantaged individuals. This is ahead of its upcoming annual convention taking place on the 2nd of November in 2016. The convention is expected to discuss issues including a strategic approach to urban land redistribution and to take a look at why transformation in the property sector is so crucial to the economy. Joining me in studio now is South African Institute of Black Property Practitioners. That's President, actually, Nkuli Pogoda, and she will shed more light on this. Nkuli, thank you so much for joining us in BizSense.
Thank you, Audrey.
Property ownership in South Africa is hugely screwed, and it's a major asset inequality in the country. How do you hope to transform this?
So as the Institute, we have got engagements and fora where we engage with the public sector because they hold quite a huge amount of property portfolios and land, and they sit with the biggest opportunity really to unlock this barrier of Black people being included in the economy. So we are in talks. There are some policies that have been put in place. The Property Sector Charter was formed as a result of SIBIP. It's actually one of the key milestones of SIBIP since our inception in 1996. And what they do as a body is drive policy, but also monitoring and measurement. So that helps us just to always have a check on where we are, how far we are from the targets that we have set. And that report has come out this year in June, and of course out of that we can see that we are still not meeting our targets.
Right, and the issue of land expropriation, do you look at that as well? You know, with the history of this country, you know, with the land being radically racialized, how do you hope to bridge that gap?
Okay, so part of the discussions and the agenda for our convention is to discuss land redistribution. So the policy is in place and has been enacted by government, but we know that since they did a few years ago, not much progress has happened in the form of implementation and execution thereof. And obviously this was because of the willing buyer, willing seller policy that really didn't drive things forward in a fair manner. So we value the setting up of the Office of the Valuer General as a sector and also as an institute, because that will start to see more fairness in the process of execution and hopefully speed things up. But out of the discussions that we will be having during the convention, we hope to come out with much more practical ways and as to how we can speed things up, rather than what we have seen with the lack of progress over the past few years.
Right. I'm interested in hearing more about the convention that's taking place on the 2nd of November. Yes. Tell us more about, take us through exactly what you'll be doing during that day.
So at the convention, we actually have a theme that says property sector as a key driver in economic activity and also in wealth redistribution. Right. So we will be producing the status report of the transformation that has happened in the sector, just so that we have a clear view and we can reflect on it. We will be reflecting on the key milestones that the organization has been able to make over the past 20 years of its formation. We will be celebrating, the formation of the organization as well, because it has become a great platform for organizations, for individuals to grow in their careers, and it has played a pivotal role in the sector with the Department of Public Works as well. We will have the Public Works Department participation so that they can tell us what is the way forward. We will have state-owned entities talking about the different opportunities that exist for SMMEs and for Black business as a whole, and we will be, like I said, engaging on the issue of land redistribution. We will be engaging on the issue of barrier to success in the sector as Black people, and one of those, the biggest one really, is access to finance. So we will be having finance houses come talk to us and have solutions-driven discussions so that when we walk out of that, we can be able to report on better statistics in the year coming.
Tell us more about the stats that you have so far. What have you uncovered in your research and what you hope to change?
Okay, so on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, where the REITs, the real estate-related companies, are worth about 450 billion only less than 20 billion of that sits with the 4 black owned entities. So we'd like to see a change and like to catapult that and move it forward. But of course, we must remember how that happened when it happened. It happened because the public sector was playing ball. It happened because the Department of Public Works put on a policy and executed that policy quite well, that saw the participation of black players, you know, and to the level that people could be listing on the JSE. So we do need to bring that policy back into action, and we need to just see a little bit more equitable participation even at that level of the JSE.
Right, and speaking of participation, who are the stakeholders that you're hoping will come together and make sure this transformation sees the light of day?
The department plays a pivotal role. Private sector players play a pivotal role, as well as the finance houses. I think of all the parties that we have engaged, I don't think that the financiers have been as innovative in the way in which they handle property transactions and make it an enabling environment for property players to be able to participate. So we do need to really interrogate a lot more further than we have. And in fact, we just need to all come together and agree on what it will take for all of us as a sector to change things and move it forward. But those are the key players that we will be bringing to the table.
Just as we wrap this up, Nkuli, just tell our viewers when the convention is taking place and the date.
Okay. The convention is on the 2nd and the 3rd of November. It will be taking place in Woodmead, Sandton. We look forward to participation. If you go on our website, www.cybib.co.za, we are on Facebook, which is Cybib. We are on LinkedIn, Cybib. We are on Instagram, it's Cybib. Please register, come join us. Let's talk about property. Let's talk about real estate. It is, after all, the creator of wealth.
Right, and Cybib would be SAIB double P.
Yes.
Nkuli Bogota, President of Cybib. Thank you so much for your time. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you kindly.